I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club making moves.
Jake Paul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around an exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua has finally broken his silence after Jake Paul's new training footage sent shockwaves across social media, with fans analyzing every slow-motion punch and power combination from Paul's latest camp video. Joshua's response adds fresh fuel to the growing hype. As a former unified heavyweight champion, AJ is not someone who gets impressed easily, but it's clear he's watching closely, and with Paul appearing sharper, faster, and more disciplined than ever, Joshua's reaction suggests a mix of respect for Paul's improvement and confidence that his own experience will make the difference.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area-level fighter, a British area-level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz
No, man.
of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree
on
with
the
you.
planet in order to make.
Back when Jake Paul was still finding his footing in boxing, Joshua gave what many considered an unexpectedly supportive endorsement during a 2025 interview. When asked about Paul, Joshua simply said, "He's good for boxing," that early. Comments showed AJ's willingness to acknowledge Paul's impact on boosting public interest in the sport, even while most critics doubted Paul's long-term potential. Fast forward to today. Now the fight is real, the stakes are massive, and the story has completely changed. Paul enters with a 12-1 record and 7 knockouts in the biggest challenge of his career, while Joshua brings in a 28-4 record as a former unified world heavyweight champion.
I was trying to fight Anthony Joshua now. How do you think that's going to go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to Jake Paul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm saying within 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on, I've never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that was huge too.
Yeah,
I mean, they're both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you got to hear the story. You got to get Francis Ngannou in here and hear this story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real. I
On
believe
that fight?
Yeah, I believe him because here's what they do. What sometimes what people don't understand. In boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. When you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room. It's
In their first public face-off at the November 21st press conference, Joshua didn't hold back. He emphasized the professionalism of the event, calling it massive, colossal, and a high-profile sporting moment that blends marketability with genuine skill. He made it clear that he's fully locked in no mercy. At that same event, Paul was asked about his expected weight. He revealed that he had been cutting weight for a different fight before this matchup was confirmed, which makes moving up to heavyweight an even tougher transition. He estimated that he would weigh somewhere between 215 and 225 pounds for the Joshua fight.
Nothing negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good. But I'm fighting the Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here, because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was gonna do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything. So this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens. And I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally. And I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think. And I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep. And so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw in the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case. But my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't know. You stumped me on that one. What is 111?
For Jake Paul says this fight is the moment he finally silences every critic who has claimed he only chooses smaller or washed-up opponents by stepping in. Against Anthony Joshua, real heavyweight and former world champion Paul argues he's proving he belongs at the highest level of the sport. According to him, once he beats Joshua, every doubt disappears. No one can deny me. Their fight will be a fully sanctioned professional heavyweight bout under the Marquis of Queensberry rules. It's set for 8 rounds of 3 minutes each, with both fighters wearing 10 Oz gloves. Joshua must also come in at no more than 245 pounds to keep the bout competitive. A loss will go on both fighters' official records.
Fight a real boxer. They said fight someone your size. They said fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight. The world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have 100%.
Teddy Atlas has expressed a cautiously curious view on the matchup, while he warns that the fight may be too big of a leap for Jake Paul. Given the enormous difference in experience and skill, he isn't dismissing the bout entirely. Atlas points to Joshua's recent knockout defeat and his extended time away from the ring, suggesting those factors could leave some lingering doubts in Joshua's mind, even though he believes Joshua remains the stronger and more technically sound fighter. Atlas says he's interested to see what version of A.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year. Right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and...
Ryan Garcia has commented on the potentially life-changing consequences for Jake Paul if he loses this fight. Garcia stresses that Joshua's power cannot be underestimated and that a defeat could affect Paul, not just physically, but also in terms of reputation, credibility, and his overall career direction. The risk is enormous, and the impact of a loss could reshape Paul's path going forward.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua?
By far?
Yeah. Too easy.
Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy and he f***ed up. I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from it.